So yeah, you guys. So back to the thing. Honestly, this one is really. I guess we're just learning the local illnesses, but they're not. It's not even the substance. It's more of a physical condition. It's not psychological. You know what I mean? It is kind of trippy, but it's a social treatment. What it is, it's like just like it's the social care, social health, because we were having that talk. I was feeling really sick last night, and it was like, why don't you go to the hospital? He goes like, I don't have money to go to the hospital, and I was like, I don't want to get an assistance because I'm trying to get out of that loop, because I feel like when I'm on the assistance stuff, it just keeps me fucking up, you know, and it keeps me like getting sick, and it keeps me in the fucking drug loop, and it just I feel like I'm paying somebody else, and I was like, I'd rather not do that so I can have social health. And when I started doing the social health stuff, it just changed everything. And what happened was the fact that you know, the condition of this particular type of hit, since it did it twice. The first time I thought it was drugs, the effects of the drugs, but it's really it's a physical condition of the way you have your neck and the way your body's positioned, and then you feel it does fuck your head up. You know what I mean? Because of the way you feel, you're hurt, you're like sick, it's cold as fuck, you got a cold. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So it's like it's that, and then you got a bunch of like what's it called? The physical effects of your life that you're living, like bad, like your boy. Oh, I run on coffee all day. Of course I'm gonna be fucking sick when all I do is run on coffee, and then at the same time it goes straight to your stomach. So it's a stomach illness. That's what the laxative's for. But then it's like it's just a social treatment, because now it's like, okay, you did that, so now socially, because you did that, we're gonna play a little kid. And a little kid, that's bad. You know what I mean? So you gotta go and you gotta do this and you gotta do that. Like do the weed, do the this and do the that. So it's crazy. So it's like it's not psychological. It's just external. Because we were talking about that at Cerritos College. There was a guy. She was talking to me about that. He showed up in my life again, and it's your external memory. Like the communal mind, or like the external your external brain cells, like people remembering stuff that you did. So they can alter the trip. It's not even a trip. It's just like, you know what I mean. They can make you an outdoor person by force, by the mass, you know. And it's just crazy, you know what I mean. So it's like it's not even drugs, because you can go through this exact same situation without even doing drugs, bro. If you know what I mean. And it's just like a good example of that in the world of art is a guy. I call him Salvador's one, bro, because the body of Salvador Dali, the fans and stuff like that, they made the guy go through all this crazy shit, and then he went through all these drugs and all these worlds and all these things, but he didn't do drugs, bro. It was just really crazy. It was like he was an experiment. It was just really really crazy, but it was around Salvador Dali's piece. It was really really cool, man. But it's just weird when you know that the same effects happen with or without doing a substance. It's dividing the effects of the drugs. And then what happened was they were trying to play mystery bag, and it's like, no, dude, you know what I mean? Just go, because what happens is when you play mystery bag, it's like, but you don't know the exact chemical. Um, you don't know how, you don't know the chemistry of what you took, so you don't know what's wrong with you, and you're like, okay, well, supposedly you're burning out of your system if you constantly do a workout or you constantly do a particular motion, and like that would have like you sweated it out or you worked it out, and then depending on if you're like in a hot situation or something like that, you know what I mean? So that would have been out of your system, like if you drank Red Bull and then you crashed because you burned out all your energy. So then the next thing is like when you know that the effects of the substance, and then you know the medical effects of the substance, and then you know the social effects of the substance, and then the personal effects of the substance. It just you divide it into those sections. Like, what does it do? When I do this, this happens. You know what I mean? But then you see the social change when you repetitively do the same action, regardless of what it is. You know what I mean? Like drinking Kool-Aid and doing the same action. So it's like every time I get hit, I do the exact same thing because you're stuck. You know, it's like, you know, I always got the bump on the head and shit. So it could be head trauma too. So it's weird. So it's really crazy, man. So like a lot of times when it comes to drugs, you don't even know if it's like the fact that they smoked crack or they got hit in the head, you know, because it's whack, you know, it's whack, you know, hit in the head. It's weird. I guess because back in the day they made you untouchable, and the only way you were touchable is if you like did crack, I guess. So then they'd whack your ass, you know what I mean, and then you'd have head trauma. Then you'd be like a spag act, you know what I mean? But that's due to the head trauma or whatever. So it's weird, you know, but it's social treatment and social trends, you know what I mean? And they know, but when you've gotten hit twice, you know, the same kind of way, it's just fucking weird. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow, it's just crazy, you know? It's more of a physical. I just want to say thank you right now. There was a gentleman in my life, and I call him Coffee Cup because of the fact that's the reason I drink coffee, dude. Because I just remember every time he lived in Long Beach, and what happened was he hated drugs. I guess his girlfriend died because of him, you know, and it just fucked him up. He's in the and he had these things like, is it mental, is it physical, or is it emotional? It was neither, bro. You know what I mean? It was just mechanical. You know what I mean? It wasn't mental. It wasn't emotional, and it was just it was mechanical, bro. And that it was crazy. It was mechanical, and it was like even just wow, it was crazy. But then like it was a repetitive cycle, and I was like, dude, I went through this shit last time, you know. And it's the same thing, like whether you do it this way or that way, it's still the same outcome. You know, I did it this way and this happened. I did it that way, this happened. So we did why, I guess, on the situation. And it's just like it's just a forced course, bro. You know, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's just like that's why I'm like personal faith and like whatever it is, because you could only blame yourself for so much, bro. You know, before you're like, wow, you know. And that's the beauty of drugs, bro. Until you figure yourself out, you're gonna lose to drugs, bro, all the time, you know, because of the fact that you don't know yourself. But you're not a doctor, bro. But you're not a lawyer, bro. You know, that's why you're scared, bro. You're scared because you're not a lawyer and you don't know the laws. And then you're scared because you're not a doctor and you're not credible to say what's really wrong with you, you know. So you feel forced to prove that you're okay, you know. And that was one of my struggles, was I had to prove to the world that I'm not like that, you know what I mean, because of the fact that you know, like, you're not a doctor, bro. You didn't go to school to be a doctor, so I can't believe you. You're not credible. But then you don't know the laws. But then you're not a chemist, bro. You know, how do you know how your body's gonna react to it? Those are the hits right there. But then the next is the gangas, you know. But then you're like, what the whoop whoop, you know? It's crazy. It's a trip, though. You know, those are the things you can. Yeah, I don't know. I just quit, brother. You know, you can. It's just crazy, man. But like, that does fuck you up. Like not being a doctor, not having the credibility of a doctor to be able to express what's going on, and then like, not being like, you know, it's crazy. It's, I believe, a sociology degree, and then studying for like in drugs and drug systems, and then you could break it, but. I don't know. I really just, wow, I really dislike it. It's because it's like after seeing that you can do it without drugs, it's crazy. Like your boy, I love speed, bro. I love that shit. Is so good. And if you never had speed, then you wouldn't know. I'm not talking about speed like this, like the. No, I'm talking about like when you're sitting there, and then you just feel the blur, like that, like that type of thing, like that, and you're not, and you're just sitting there, bro. You know that I love that shit. That's called speed, bro. That shit is tight, but people don't know that. But it's weird. So craziness at its best. Your boy sucks at life, and I don't know shit. And we're going through drugs, and going through Vegas. So we're here broke as fuck. Thanks to my friends, nobody, for helping. I appreciate you so much.